For 18 years, I was a senior program coordinator for St. Louis Park at Lennox Center, which is the hub of senior activity here in St. Louis Park. But now that reign has been changed, and so I'm going to be doing this tonight so I can say goodbye. Many of you might not know this, but it is the 20th anniversary of Parktacular. 20 years. So the senior dinner has been the kickoff for a weekend of events for several years. Tonight's theme is A Night in Manhattan. And at your table, you will see an events guide. This details everything that's going on this week. And there's lots of fun things. There's a parade, there's all kinds of things that you might want to take advantage of. But spend a few minutes and take a look and see what else is going on. There also is a little piece of paper that looks like this. Very important. Put your name on that because that is for door prizes. And Betty Ann right here is passing around the basket and she will gather that up. We will do door prizes after the entertainment and you must be present in order to win. Now way back in the corner by that light, there is a jar, a money jar, that has been donated by Citizens Independent Bank. And there is money in there, and you need to make a guess. And whoever guesses the closest wins the money. So the slips for that are back there by that jar. So when you take a little break, take a look at that, see what you might find out. So as we're talking about Parktacular, probably most of you do not know how the senior event began. So I thought I'd give you a little history. When I first started at St. Louis Park, it was in January of 1998. And the manager at that time, his name was Bob Whitman. How many of you remember him? There's some people here that do. Well, Bob Whitman was going to a meeting about Parktacular. And so, of course, I'm curious and said, what is Parktacular? He says, well, it's the city celebration. I said, oh. I said, what do they do for the seniors? He said, I don't know. So he went off to the meeting. And he came back and said, there now is an event for the seniors. It's going to be Thursday night and you can plan it. So with that, I went over to meet with Debbie Blake, who had invited me over to Park Shore Place, that some of you people from Park Shore may remember her. She was the activity director for a number of years. And the pool over at the rec center had just opened. It was brand new, and she said, we need to get some of the seniors over to at the rec center because they have such a nice facility now. What can we do? So we had our very first Parktacular senior dinner at the rec center, and part of the entertainment was the synchronized swimming team from the schools. So, anybody here besides me who was way back to the rec center who remember that? There's a few of us. Okay. So when I started my job, I hadn't done a lot of work with seniors yet. So I thought this is going to be a new adventure. I'm a teacher. And so a lot of the skills will be, they can go back and forth easily. So the first day I was there, we were sitting in the conference room, all around the table, all the employees, and they're telling me who they are, and they're telling me what they do, and they're telling me what I will be needing to do. And 20 minutes in the door, and somebody yells, code blue. I'm like, code blue in the hospital means something bad. So everybody starts to run, and I thought, oh, I wonder if this happens very often. I hadn't thought about this when I decided to take this job. So that was one. Then The next day, I was sitting at my desk, and one of the members who supervised one of our activities had come walking down the hall and sat down at my desk, and she was a little bit huffing and puffing, and I'm like, "Are you all right?" And she starts telling me about her bad heart, and I thought, oh no, we're gonna have another Claude Boo right here at my desk. But we didn't, that was a relief. And then the next day, if you know Lennox Community Center, we have a small parking lot on the east side of the building. And the Lennox van used to be parked there. So this day we had an outing all set up, and this was all done before I got there. So we had an outing set up, and so the gentleman who was the van driver came, he got the keys, and he's gonna back the van out and go around to the side to pick everybody up. Well, he backed into my car. 3 strikes. I thought I was out of there for sure. They were gonna say I'm bad luck. But funny, 18 years later, I was still there. So anyways, I thought those are some kind of fun things to hear about. A lot of times when I first started my job, people asked me, well, what does that do? Do you work in like a nursing home or something? And I'm like, no, let me tell you about what we do. And then they're all like, well, when can we join? So I hope you all take advantage of the programs that are available to seniors now. And with that, I would like to invite Marla DeStache up on the stage, and she's going to talk about the senior ambassadors.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting us. I'm Marla DeStache, and I, along with Tammy McCanna and Maggie Myers, make up the team of St. Louis Park Parktacular Ambassador Directors. Before we begin, I would like to recognize the Parktacular Board for their hard work through the year and thank all the volunteers that made tonight possible. We thank you for the honor of celebrating with you. The attendance tonight is just a small example of how active and vibrant the seniors in our community are. Tonight we are here to honor Parktacular Senior Ambassador, our outgoing Parktacular Senior Ambassadors. Before we do, we would like to recognize all the past St. Louis Park Senior Ambassadors and senior royalty for their service and commitment to our community. We will bring the microphone to each table, allowing everyone to stay at their tables, and we ask that you please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced.
I don't know how I got to this first. My name is Joyce Ramsey, and we were senior ambassadors in '07 and '08. It's a long time ago. I have to look and see on my here what I was doing. It was a wonderful experience and one I wouldn't give up for anything. It was a lot of time-consuming work, but it was fun, and we got acquainted with so many kids. We so enjoyed the kids that were on the boat. And we always tried to wave at seniors when we were going down the road. And sometimes they would look surprised that we had seniors on the float. So that was a lot of fun to do. It was a great experience. I don't think I could get on the float now, but I wouldn't do it again, but I really enjoyed it. Big time to do it.
Well, my name is Bob Ramsey, and I follow her, and there's not much left to say, except that it's really an honor and a privilege to represent the seniors in this community as a senior ambassador. And it's also a privilege to have the opportunity to spark the interest and boost the morale of seniors in other communities who watch the parades, as Joyce said, and their eyes always lit up when they realized there were seniors on the float as well as teenagers and kids, and they were really felt part of the whole operation. So it's a privilege, and it's a meaningful experience, and besides that, it's a lot of fun. And so everybody should get off the curb once in a while in their life and be actually in the parade, and we enjoy it.
being in the parade and meeting all the nice people throughout the whole neighborhood. I'll let Anthony go.
Hi, I'm Ann Road, and I'm 2013-2014 ambassador, senior ambassador. And I'll tell you one thing, it's a wonderful experience to be involved in this group. They put so much effort into this, and you know, we've got friends now that we never had before, and it's just so meaningful. So if anybody ever gets a chance to do this, please do it.
I'm Judy Munson, my husband Danny Munson. We were the 2014 and 15 senior ambassadors. And we like the parades, and especially enjoyed waving at the veterans and the little kids along the way. The shy little kids that really didn't want to wave, and I just kind of picked them out, and eventually they did. And it is a meaningful experience, and we enjoyed it. And if any, like I said, Ann said, if anyone asks you to do it, go ahead and do it. It'll be worth it.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Gurney. I'm King Winter the 58th with the senior royalty for the St. Paul Winter Carnival. So I'm kind of acquainted with this side of the river. I was a Centennial Senior Commodore in 2014. So as I've heard here, don't wait for them to ask you. I hear about that somebody asks you to join. Get up and help. It's a wonderful thing. You will enjoy it. You'll meet 1,000 people that you've never met before, and all of them are great.
Hi, I'm Ron Helgeson, the Hopkins Raspberry Festival Senior King. I've thoroughly enjoyed the time that I've met so many people, and so there's some really wonderful people in St. Louis Park that some are my friends, or were my friends, and some are now my friends. I thank you very much for inviting us to this event. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Diane Helgeson. I'm the Hopkins Raspberry Senior Queen. No, I am.
I'm honored to present our 2015-2016 St. Louis Park Parktacular Senior Ambassadors, Jackie and Greg Kyle. Jackie grew up in the area and went to Minneapolis Central High School. Greg went to school in California. They met in the Twin Cities on a blind date and were married later. They have one daughter who's getting married later this year. They have lived in St. Louis Park since 1985 and have been very active in the community. They have also been involved in Empty Bowls and their church, Golden Valley Lutheran. Jackie worked at Northwest National Bank, now Wells Fargo, and Park Nicollet, while Greg did warehousing work until he retired in 2007. They both like to bowl, golf, and do lawn bowling. Greg's personal motto is, "Your name is the only thing that travels with you your whole life, so make it an honorable name." Upon reflection of his year as a senior ambassador, Greg said he will miss those times when he could connect with someone one-on-one at a parade or event. Jackie will miss visiting royal families at all the cities we visited. I'd like to introduce to you Jackie and Greg Kyle.
Don't wait to be asked.
pull that microphone down.
Sorry.
I didn't know I was going to have to get up here and speak to everybody, but on behalf of my wife and I, it is truly a rewarding experience, one that we sat at the royalty table last year just to have a good meal and perhaps win a door prize, which we did. But and having met the former royalty here at the table, they saw in us something that we probably weren't aware of, and that was that we like people. And so they asked us for our name and number that night, and without hesitation we gave it to them. They called us that night, they called us the next morning, and the following Saturday we're on the float in St. Louis Park. So don't wait till the last minute, which is the last minute right now. So on behalf of my wife and I and the Ambassador family, step up, have fun for a year, because the year will go by so fast and you'll meet so many wonderful people. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Unfortunately, we will not crown senior ambassadors at this time. I think you kind of heard the message. Don't wait to be asked, just step up. And we are actually looking for 2 people who will step up and be seniors for us this next year. It doesn't matter. You can be a couple, you could be 2 singles. We'll take you. If you're interested in finding out more about us or you would like to be considered, we are going to ask that you please speak with the Parktacular president, Amy Sundum. Amy is right here. I'm going to speak with her this evening. The ambassadors would again like to thank the Parktacular Celebration and Board of Directors for their continued support of our program. We thank you again for allowing us to join your special evening and for all that you do for our community. Thank you.
As we mentioned before, we're talking about being ambassadors. I will tell you, over the years, I've known a lot of people who have been ambassadors, and there have been couples and there have been 2 women or whatever, the combination, but I have never had anyone say, oh, it was so much work, or oh, they all loved it. They all came away with having such a wonderful year, having that opportunity to be with the kids and different people and go to different communities. So when they ask about not waiting, if you're thinking about it, it is a lot of fun. So I've heard. Okay. So I'm going to share another little story with you. And when I first started, I had a community member who came to me who wanted to start a program on community TV about growing older. And so she was interested to find out from people, when did you feel old? And so she asked if I could find some people who might want to be interviewed. I said, I think so. And so she came one day when we were having an event, and I asked a little lady who happened to be 90 years old if she would be interviewed for this. And she said, sure. So we went up there and she sat down to be interviewed. I didn't stay there, so I waited until afterwards, and I said, so how did the interview go? And the woman from the community said to me, really well, but she says, I asked her about when did she feel old, and she says, I don't know, but I'll let you know when I do. So it is all in our head. Parktacular will be going this weekend, and if you're interested, they have buttons that are for sale, and you can get 1 for $5, or you can get 4 for $15. And Lisa, there she is. In case you're looking for a button, there they are. She'd be happy to stop at your table. It will get you into all the interesting events that are going on. So, I found a funny little story. I'll tell you this one. This is not one of mine. This is I've borrowed off the internet. You know how reliable that internet is. And it was a woman who was talking about a problem being on the jury. How many people here have served on a jury? Yeah, I've never been called. I've never been called. So anyways, So this woman was celebrating her 80th birthday, and she had a call, and it was for her to report for jury duty. And she told them, she says, well, you know, I'm not eligible anymore because of my age. And they said, well, then you need to come down here and fill out a form. She said, I filled it out last year. And they said, well, you have to come down. She says, well, I didn't get any younger over the year. I thought that was a really good comeback. So with that, we will be having some dinner tonight, but I'd like to maybe take the opportunity to thank some of our financial sponsors. They're on your place card. And so the senior event has been one of the best supported programs in Parktacular for a number of years. So, you know, we really owe a great deal to these sponsors. So as you can see them, Bridgewater Bank, Discover St. Louis Park, the City of St. Louis Park, Golden Living St. Louis Park. Do you see a theme here? Jones Harrison Senior Living, Marriott Minneapolis West, Park Shore Senior Campus, Shalom Community Alliance, St. Louis Park Senior Program, Texas Terrace Skilled Nursing, Tower Light Senior Living, and the Villa of St. Louis Park. So they are our sponsors that are helping defray the cost for this, and which is why we can offer to all of our those over 55 in the community to come at such a reasonable cost. So with that, we're going to have dinner. Oh, I take that back. Amy wants to talk.
I will make it quick. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Sundham, and I am president of the Parktacular board. My first year. Thank you. And I just wanted to tell you a little story that I think you might find cute. As you know, we are selling buttons for $5 or 4 for $15. And this year, our block party, which we call Rock the Block, is going to feature a Prince tribute band. And they're called Chase and Ovation. And Tommy Chase went to St. Louis Park High School. So he is really looking forward to seeing everyone and playing for us. And I had heard from Tony at Lennox Center that she's been selling buttons like hotcakes because everyone wants to go see Chase and Ovation on the Friday night block party. And I think that that's pretty cool that everyone in the senior program wants to go to the concert where there's going to be music by Prince. So I just thought you guys might find that an interesting story, and that just really tickled me. And it's going to be a really fun night, tomorrow night, at the Excelsior and Grand Town Green. So buy a button from Lisa, who is just so cute in her button sash. That is awesome. And she'll be selling them all night. And of course, we'll have Tim Patrick and his Blue Eyes Band starting soon here. And otherwise, enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much for coming, and have a great night. We'll do dinner. Thanks.